What's up, guys? Swift here covering everything Chicago Bears. Today I'm breaking down everything from day 2 of training camp practice. Let's get right into it. The story of the day was Justin Fields connecting with DJ Moore. They are building something special together. The first play of practice started out with Chase Claypool beating Tyreek Stevenson in one-on-one reps for a big catch. And then Tyler Scott burnt Michael Ojemudia for a long TD pass from Justin Fields. It's great to see the offense get off to a fast start. It's something we haven't seen a lot in Chicago in the past. Justin Fields showed off one of those baseball-style sidearm throws on a nifty completion to Cole Kmet, our freshly inked new tight end who we have for 5 more seasons. And then shortly after, Tyler Scott made another huge catch, beating Jalen Jones for a big reception. Velus Jones also had a deep catch. Back-to-back days where Velus showed up and looked good. It's an encouraging start to camp for him. Meanwhile, Justin continues building chemistry with DJ Moore. They made multiple nice connections today. One was a 10-yard curl that he laced between multiple defenders. The chemistry between these two was already making strides. And then just a few plays later, DJ Moore was matched up on Tyreek Stevenson again, and Fields threw another absolute dime, connecting with DJ again. Their connection is just something you have to see, as they weren't done yet. Fields found DJ for another touchdown later in practice. It's clear that early on, when he needs a big play, DJ Moore is that guy. This connection is going to be special. Tyler Scott, meanwhile, had a couple of drops, but his route running and speed is legit. He seems like the early favorite to surprise and win the wide receiver number 4 job. Quick report on the defensive line as well. Rasheem Green was running with the first team at right end on the defensive line. Basically, the defensive line went in 3 waves. I believe the first wave is the starters, the second wave is backups, and the third wave are the pass rush specialists. The first wave had Demarcus Walker at left end. Justin Jones was at the 3-tech position, Andrew Billings was at the nose tackle spot, with Rasheem Green lining up with the starters at right end. The second wave had Trevis Gibson at left end. Donovan Jeter, Jalen Holmes, and Andrew Brown have been rotating at the defensive tackle spots inside, with Dominique Robinson at right end. Then wave 3, which I believe is the pass rush unit, features Terrell Lewis at left end, Zach Pickens at the 3-tech position, Jervon Dexter at the nose. With the right end spot rotating, it looks like we have an open spot for another pass rusher. Ryan Poles, what's going on there? Is it going to be Yannick, Justin Houston? Stay tuned for that. It's really hard to get much out of the pass rush until the pads come on. However, early on in camp, 2 guys have kind of stood out at defensive end. Demarcus Walker is one of them. He's been an absolute monster. And then the other guy is none other than freak athlete Terrell Lewis, who was in the backfield yesterday and then made a strong impression today too, getting by his offensive lineman multiple times and almost intercepting a Justin Fields pass that he deflected. For the first time ever, I heard other Bears media guys talking about Terrell Lewis. I'll be watching him closely throughout camp and the preseason. The video I did on him last year is one of my biggest ever. But back to Demarcus Walker, he looks like an absolute beast out there. People are definitely underrating Walker. His presence kind of reminds me of when we signed Akeem Hicks as a free agent just a few years back. Just how physically imposing he is. He's an intimidating presence on the line. I think Walker can be an impact player this season at defensive end. Don't count this guy out yet. Khalil Herbert and Treston Ebner both had big runs today. Ebner's kind of a forgotten man. I was relatively high on him after watching all of his tape last year, but he failed to make an impact as a rookie, and he needs to have a huge camp if he wants a shot at making the roster. A Roschon Johnson fumble and a bit too many drops were the negatives from camp today. It's still early on and the chemistry is coming together. As Bears fans though, you just have to love what we're seeing from Justin Fields and DJ Moore early on. That connection is simply special. The entire 90-man roster was on the field today. Jack Sanborn is still working with trainers, but he is doing individual drills, and he said himself that he's close to 100% and ready to go. He said he spent a ton of time with Darnell Mooney and Eddie Jackson this offseason, recovering from injuries together. They were in the building at Hallis Hall almost every day. Sanborn and Mooney have been cleared to practice but are being ramped up. Neither is participating in full team drills yet. Eddie Jackson, meanwhile, has been participating in team drills. He's 100% and ready to have a Pro Bowl type season. Eddie Jackson is the definition of a veteran player that's buying into this new regime. He has been a leader for this team and the defense especially. I can't wait to see Eddie Jackson back on the field. Jack Sanborn was also asked if he expects to be a starter. He sounds confident that he will be. He didn't underestimate Noah Sewell, but he's focused and ready to be a starter again this season. In another interesting development, rookie Terrell Smith, the corner out of Minnesota, has gotten some reps at free safety already early in camp. I talked about it immediately after we drafted him, that he has the skills to play outside corner or potentially be a free safety and replace Eddie Jackson in a few seasons. It's really interesting to see him getting reps at safety this early on. And then finally, we have an update on the offensive line as well. I think we all know what the first team O-line looks like, but just in case, it's Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Cody Whitehair, Nate Davis, and Darnell Wright, the rookie, coming in as a starting right tackle. The second team O-line has a couple of surprises though. Larry Borum is working at left tackle, with Jatari Carter at left guard, Lucas Patrick at center, Alex Leatherwood is at right guard, and Kellen Deesh is running with the second team at right tackle. You love to see that. The biggest question mark to me is Alex Leatherwood, who I was expecting to be competing for the swing tackle spot, is playing inside at right guard. This is interesting and something we'll have to continue watching throughout camp. If Kellen Deesh has really entered the competition for the swing tackle spot, then I expect him and Larry Borum to rotate between the left and right side. I'll be watching this closely. It's an exciting time of year, lots of updates from practice today. I dropped a video earlier showing a lot of highlights from day one of practice as well. In a related note, prayers go out for Joe Burrow today, who was carted off the field in practice. I really hope he's okay. I hate seeing injuries this time of year. Please remember to hit that like button for me, guys. I have a ton more videos on the way. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.
Yeah, we icy. We going for that ring. We about to go golf. Let's go to the swing. So, yeah.
Swifty in the house!